We're going to begin with the cups, the minor arcana. And I always like to start in progression, and all the suits start with the ace or the one. And in all of the suits, all of each one of the suits, the aces will always signify a new beginning of some sort, a new start, a new person, a new relationship, a new situation. But it's always a significant turning point or a beginning. And as with the Ace of Cups, as you can see here, there's an offer of love. The cups represent love, emotions, feelings, all things related to that realm. If you like to tie astrology to the tarot, I don't typically do this, but it would be the watery signs. Okay, so new love, new loving beginning, new family member, an offer of love. So when this card shows up, it bodes well for new relationships. Anything related to the beginning you're starting, that it should be full of love and possibility of happiness. So this is an excellent card. The Two of Cups speaks to the beginning of a new relationship, a new friendship. It's typically romantic, but it could also be friendship, and depending upon what cards it comes next to. But it definitely is a loving partnership, and you see the two in this photo here, sort of sharing love. I give you love, you give me love. It's an offer. The Three of Cups, it can also relate to an offer of love, but more often this is more familial or group, or it relates to celebratory. Like if you see this card, the Three of Cups next to the Hierophant, for instance, you're going to be having a party. It indicates a gathering is happening and it's something you will really appreciate. Now, if this card is next to other cards, it can indicate a relationship, but usually this is just happiness, love abounding with many people. The Four of Cups really speaks to fatigue. It speaks to maybe you're having a dissatisfaction with a romantic partner or a family member or a friend, or just your life in general. You're feeling fatigued. And I think when you look at this person next to the tree, we're taking a seat. We're leaning up against the tree. And we haven't given up. We're not full on in depression. And that's sort of the indication with the three cups in front of the person and the one coming out of the sky. You're just, things haven't been going as well as you would like, but it's not a really negative card. It's more about fatigue. The five, now all fives always signal scattered energies to me, that you're in the middle of decisions or feeling a certain way and you haven't quite figured out your course of action. You're not quite sure what to do. Things are feeling somewhat uncomfortable. You just haven't quite figured out how to feel better yet. Haven't surrendered, haven't figured it out. So in this photo, of course, you see the three cups that are spilled and there's two behind the person. So it's not all is lost by any stretch, but it's a moment of scattered energies. You just can't quite figure out how to make yourself feel better, how to get the three cups standing and the two down, right? So you're kind of in it emotionally. The Six of Cups is a lovely card. It almost always indicates someone from your past is returning, or something that feels very familiar to you is coming into your life to make an impact. I mean, this picture, it talks about childhood and it talks about, just the youthfulness of children here and the innocence. And it can be all of that, but typically it will be paired with other cards that talk about some situation with someone in your life from the past. It could be romantic, it could be familial, it could be a friend. The Seven of Cups really refers to seven, by the way, all sevens indicate cycle changes, and the quantity of sevens you have in the spread, if you have different suits of seven, will indicate this, the severity or the intensity of the cycle change. But when we have a lot of sevens in the hearts, in the cups, hearts, that's the synonymous with an actual playing card deck. It just says there's a lot to consider, a lot of options, a lot of things going on that we're probably having a little bit of a challenge sorting through all of our considerations, all of our options, on wondering what to do. And we're probably a teeny bit overwhelmed emotionally, and we're having trouble figuring it out, having trouble deciding which direction to go. And it's different than the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is more, we're not really seeing the forest for the trees at all through the five, but in the seven, we are seeing there are some paths to go. There's some options to take. And we're not really feeling negative about it. We're just trying to sort through our points of view. Now, the Eight of Cups, it really depends on if this is next to the Magician, for instance. It's a very positive card about really heading into some very positive moments in your life or your relationship or whatever the situation is. But the Eight of Cups really talks about walking away, whether it's physically or emotionally or mentally, from a situation and looking elsewhere for your answer rather than where you've been looking, whether that's in a relationship or a job or whatnot. So it does really carry that meaning of looking in another direction. And in this graphic, the person has their back turned on a situation, 8 cups, they're moving away from that. So that's a significant change in perspective. The 9 of Cups, this is such a wonderful card. I mean, this is really the wish card in the deck. If it's standalone, answer what you want, you're going to get, full stop. It doesn't always mean you're going to get what you want, but it's a positive energy next to any major arcana or any other cards that show up in your spread. If this is showing up, it means there's really positive vibratory influences in your situation. And you will be feeling the benefit of that as things continue to evolve or unfold in your experience. The 10 of Cups, just a wonderful card, and depending on which major arcana show up will tell a lot about the specific situation. But this is love, this is family love, this is success, this is just happiness, a feeling of completion and fulfillment in general. And by the way, tens, when you see multiple tens show up in a spread, that always talks to you about the significance of the changes that are coming or that you're experiencing. So if you have 2 or more tens, there's probably something pretty powerful going on in your circumstance. King of Cups, and as with the major arcana, when we see court cards, they can refer to people, and sometimes they do, but sometimes they're just referring to the energy. This could be a masculine or a feminine energy, but again, if this shows up in your spread, it could be a man you know, a father figure, someone who has authority. Typically, if this is going to show up in your spread as a person, it's going to be representative of the age group or the status of that person. So you can count on that pretty well. But it is someone with a kind heart who is gentle, probably cares about you. And when you see the cup there, it's like, all right, this is a safe place. Any wisdom, any conversations, any kindness that comes to me from this person, it's trustworthy, and there's love here. With the Knight of Cups, this is almost always an offer of love. It doesn't necessarily matter about the age, but it is an offer, and it's good news. Whether it's an offer of love or a gesture of some sort, it is something very pleasant that's coming your way. As we look at the Page of Cups, pages for me are always messages. It doesn't mean that they can't be a person delivering a message, but it's always a message of some sort. So if I were to see the Page of Cups in my spread, I'd say, all right, I'm getting a text, an email, or a phone call from someone who loves me and wants to make sure I know that. So this is a lovely positive card. The Queen of Cups, similarly to the King of Cups, is if it's a person that you're relating to in the spread, it's going to be an older woman, meaning not of page. I look at pages as teens and 20s. So this would be someone older than that. But again, someone who has loving feelings towards you, who's sensitive and kind, and really has your best interest in your world. Okay? All right, so we'll stop here and we'll move on to the wands.